Hello everyone, and welcome to my selections for the best light bowguns in Monster Hunter World, Iceborne. As I did for heavy bowguns, I'll be breaking down these into a best pick and an honorable mention per ammo type. Bowguns are a little more complicated than Blade Master weapons, so when I analyze them, I look at a few different factors. First, what ammo can it load, and how many of that ammo can it hold? For light bowgun specifically, I also consider whether or not it can rapid fire that ammo type, which is a unique feature to light bowgun and puts out more damage per shot at the cost of a longer animation. Second, I consider the deviation and recoil that come through when using the gun, which affect the ability of the gun to stay mobile and flexible during a hunt. And third, the mods and attachments available, which can make the gun stronger or reduce the deviation or recoil of the gun. Finally, I look at the simple raw damage, affinity, and skill slots available on the gun, just like the Blade Master weapons. As usual, I give some extra consideration to weapons that are easier to craft. Without further discussion, let's get firing! My pick for the best normal shots light bowgun is the Raging Brachydios gun, the Lightbreak Gun. It has 364 raw, neutral affinity, and a level 4 and level 2 slot, just like all Raging Brachydios weapons. It can load one of each normal shot type, and can auto-reload normal 1 and normal 2, which is nice, and then it can rapid fire normal 3, which is extremely powerful. It has high deviation, which does have to be dealt with, but rapid fire normal 3 is so strong, it's definitely worth it. In order to make this gun really work for you, you'll definitely want to increase the loading capacity and get spare shot or true spare shot when you use this gun. My honorable mention for normal shots is probably better than the Raging Brachydios if you're not trying to use normal 3 shots. It's the Diregun light bowgun, the Gust. It has 312 raw, which is pretty good, a positive 35% affinity, which is huge, and a level 1 slot, and it can load 4 level 1 shots, 3 level 2 shots, and 2 level 3 normal shots. Additionally, it can rapid fire normal 1 and normal 2. This means that if you want to do purely the most damage and use normal 3 shot, you go with the Raging Brachydios, and if you want a gun that's a little bit more flexible, you go with the Diregun. Both of these guns are extremely good. My pick for the best spread shots gun is the Frostfang Barioth light bowgun, the Blizzard Gust. It has 338 raw, 15% positive affinity, and no slots unfortunately. It can also only load spread 3 shots, which will definitely need to be dealt with by crafting more spread 3 on the fly or returning to the base camp, but it is very powerful. My spread shots honorable mention goes to the Namiel light bowgun, the Black Actinula. The Black Actinula has 364 raw, which is actually higher damage than the Frostfang, as well as 15% positive affinity and also having no slots. Unfortunately, it cannot load any spread 3, and also has much more severe deviation issues. I should mention that in the end, a spread shot build is actually best done by a Safi'jiiva gun, specifically the Aqua Shot, I believe, but for craftable, non-RNG guns that you can just get out of the game, these two, the Black Actinula and the Blizzard Gust, are extremely close, and both guns are very good. Next up is Pierce Shots, and my pick for the best Pierce Shot light bowgun is the Fatalis light bowgun, the Fatalis Depths. 371 raw is the strongest on the countdown, although it does have negative 30% affinity. Overall, this is a weaker Fatalis weapon than usual when you combine the unimpressive raw, only 7 points higher than the Lightbreak or Namiel guns, with the negative 30% affinity, which is the lowest that the Fatalis weapons get. It still does have those signature 2 level 4 slots though, and it can load a whopping 5 Pierce 1, 4 Pierce 2, and 3 Pierce 3 shots, and it even gets rapid fire on the Pierce 2. My honorable mention for the Pierce shots goes to the Yungaruga light bowgun, the Blackwing Bowgun II. It has 351 raw and 25% positive affinity, as well as a level 3 slot, which means that if your build doesn't have access to 130% positive affinity to use the Fatalis Depths, you're probably actually better off using the Blackwing Bowgun. It can load 4 level 1, 2 level 2, and 1 level 3 Pierce shot while rapid firing the Pierce 2 shots. Just like normal and spread shots, for Pierce shots, if you have a specific set, the Fatalis light bowgun will definitely overperform, but if you have a more general set or you don't have all the armor pieces you need for a really crazy set, the honorable mention is probably a better pickup. The best sticky shots light bowgun in the game, in my opinion, is the Develho light bowgun, the Diregun Dementia. It has 364 raw damage, negative 25% affinity, which actually doesn't matter when you're using sticky shots because they do true damage, and no slots, which is a little unfortunate, but it can load 2 shots of sticky 1, 2 shots of sticky 2, and 1 sticky 3 while rapid firing sticky 2, which is utterly insane, and when you combine that with Slugger and good aim for heads, you will have your monster stunned on the ground for most if not all of the hunt. In fact, because of rapid fire sticky shot, the Diregun Dementia is actually my favorite light bowgun in the entire game. The sticky shot's honorable mention goes to the workshop weapon, God's Isle. It has 312 raw damage, neutral affinity, and a level 1 slot, as well as very high deviation, and it can only load sticky 2 and 2 sticky 3, which makes the gun look pretty bad at first, but it can auto reload on sticky 2, which I find quite nice for relaxed hunting such as lower rank hunts or going to the guiding lands. This gun is also pretty easy to craft, and I really like the design, so I gave it some extra points for that. For elemental shots, which is something that the light bowgun is historically well known for, my pick goes to the Alatreon light bowgun, the Alatreon Dominator, and oh boy does it dominate. It has a respectable 338 raw, neutral affinity, and 2 level 2 slots, but that's not why it's so good. It can load 4 of every elemental shot except Dragon, which it loads 3 of, and it can rapid fire every single one, even Dragon shots, which does absolutely ridiculous damage to Elder Dragons and feels amazing to pull off. If you're going to only craft one light bowgun and you like rapid fire shots, Alatreon Dominator is definitely the light bowgun for you. My honorable mention for the elemental light bowgun is the Xeno'jiiva/Lunastra light bowgun, the Soulfire Rasp Styx. It has 338 raw, 10% affinity, and 2 level 3 slots, making it better putting the Alatreon Light Bowgun in those categories, and it loads a quite respectable 3 shots of Water, Thunder, and Dragon Shot. It even gets Rapid Fire on Water and Thunder. Oh, and just like all Luna Jiva weapons, it has Spare Shot built right in, conserving ammo and increasing DPS. Overall, if you're in the end game, I would always go with the Alatreon Dominator, but if you're in a situation where you don't have Spare Shot on your armor set or you can't easily get it, definitely pick the Soulfire Rasp Styx for that extra utility. So that's it for my favorite picks for each ammo type for Light Bowguns in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. In the comments, I want to know what your favorite shot type is. Mine is Sticky Shot for the reasons I outlined earlier. I just love KOing monsters, and I love that it does true damage so you can just ignore what monster part you're hitting and do the same damage all the time. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and come back for the next one. Peace!